All right. Well, just to reiterate what I said the other night, really proud of our team for accomplishing the second goal. You work all year long to try to achieve goals, and anytime you see a group of young people come together and accomplish something, it never gets old because it's hard. It is, especially when everybody's after the same thing, and only one's going to get it. They don't give you an attaboy. You don't get any. One team is going to get the opportunity to represent the Atlantic, and this team in particular, it really has kind of won me over, man. They really have, because it's just been and I knew coming in this was going to be a different year and a different type of team. So many new faces, and this team has been fun and a lot of challenges. If you look at our schedule at the beginning of the year, and you're going to Louisville, and and it seems like when you win those games, the further on you go, it's like then nobody wants to give you credit, for some of these wins. They want to downplay that team. Let me tell you, that game at Louisville, I go back to that one. It's game day. It's all this stuff. Lamar Jackson he's an unbelievable player, and to see our guys respond, and same thing, turn around, come home, play a tough BC team, go to Virginia Tech. I mean, it's just been every week. Auburn, and just whatever situation this team has been in, we've somehow found a way to respond. Obviously, didn't play great up there at Syracuse. They just whipped us and outplayed us, and made a few more plays than we did. We came up short. But guys responded, and it's what I love to see, a group of young people, especially in this world where there's so much criticism and so much noise and so much overanalyzation of everything in everybody's life, and to see a group of young people. I mean, this is I thought I saw Tim, this is the fewest seniors we've had since World War II. So it's just amazing. And so, I'm really, really proud of this team. Regardless of what happens the rest of the way, this football team right here has been fun to coach, and they have responded, all year long, and coming off of a national championship and all that comes with that. Knowing you're going to get every ounce of everybody's best week in and week out, and they just put the work in. So I just can't overstate that enough. How proud I am of this group. If the season ended right now today, I really am pleased with their effort. They played hard. We hadn't always played smart. We hadn't always made every play that's there, but they have really played with a tremendous effort, and they've played together, all year long. So this is a team I'm really going to have great memories of as we move forward. But hard to believe it's the last game in the Valley. The season has flown by. Really just unbelievable. I don't know where it went. It's just gone fast. You work all year, and man, these 7 Saturdays just seem like they just go by quicker and quicker every single year. So a little sad about that, but embracing where we are on the journey, and excited about Military Appreciation Day. That's always a special time here. Truly special time. I really don't think anybody does it better. We've got Cleve McClary coming to speak to the team this Wednesday. He's an old Vietnam veteran, and I've heard him speak many times, and he's an amazing guy. I look forward to hearing what he has to say to our guys, and then obviously it's Senior Day, so that's always an emotional time a little bit, because there's some finality to it. These guys dream about playing college football and playing in venues. Some of them grow up dreaming about playing at Clemson, and to see them have the opportunity to achieve their dream, and then you just kind of get in the midst of your journey, and you just think, well, I'm gonna be here it's like you'll be here forever. And then when all of a sudden you get to be a senior, and you realize just how quick it's gone, and how fast life goes, and it's such a small moment in the scope of your life, 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, it's just a blink of an eye, And that's what I try to remind our coaches about all the time is, man, we've got to exhaust every opportunity we get to really impact these players while we have a chance. And because they just come and go, it's so fast. And I was talking to Jordan Leggett yesterday on the phone about it, and it's just hard to believe, just like that, you know. But life keeps moving, and new faces will come, and you know. But really want to just, you know, have a great day Saturday. I want to see these guys put an exclamation point on their career. These seniors are 26-1 at home. What a career they've had. You know, there's an old saying that says prosperity is a terrible teacher. Well, these old boys have had a lot of prosperity, and but I think they have learned through that, and I think that's a credit to the people in our program. But 26-1 and got a chance to set the all-time record. 27 wins would be the most wins ever for a senior group. So, you know, excited about that, and obviously, you know, a chance to get a 10th win. And, you know, so it's a noon game, and I just really hope our crowd will show up and put on a great show for our military, for our seniors, and, you know, great day to honor two awesome groups that in different ways have been great servants. So these seniors have served this program, they've served their teammates, this community in so many ways, and just excited about you know, watching them play in the Valley for the last time on Saturday. Citadel, Coach Thompson, you know, he's done a good job down there. They're a 5-5 team right now. Just a difficult team to prepare for. Obviously, they're the triple option. They've kind of got their own little nuances and personality with it that they bring to the table. But they're a challenge. I mean, it doesn't matter if you know who you're playing. If they're running the triple option, it's a challenge because it's not something that you do every single week. So we've got, you know, we do have good experience. We obviously played Georgia Tech, and hopefully that will help us a little bit. But they do throw it a little bit more, which is, you know, I think they're they throw it about 13 times a game, and Georgia Tech coming in only threw it about 7 or 8 times a game. So they're kind of the air raid triple option, if you will. So that puts a little bit more strain on you in that regard. So Brent and the boys they hate these weeks. I promise you. So we got to get a good plan. And the biggest thing though is just we got to get better. We got to improve and really in every area. And that's really our focus is Clemson this week, and just really trying to just improve our team. I mean, there's so many areas that we got to improve on in all 3 phases, and you know, just take care of our business the proper way, and you know, make the plays that are there, clean up some things fundamentally, and just carry the focus and intensity throughout the 4 quarters. So, looking forward to again closing out our home schedule and hopefully playing our best game to this point.
Coach Tanner Muse just played 1 snap on Saturday. Obviously, he's still got that cast. What's his status, and how important are the next couple of weeks getting your guys healthy, especially on the defensive side?
I mean, it's critical. So hopefully we can get those guys, you know, all back on board and ready to go for a championship run, because that's really what it comes down to. But Tanner's going to be a lot better this week. You know, the game, we got up 17-0, and, you know, knew they was gonna probably throw it a little bit more. So didn't play him quite as much, went with a little bit more of our cover guys, and obviously, you know, helps to have 2 hands, you know, in the game. So, but he's going to be in a lot better position this week. They got him a whole different deal. They were able to cut it down, and he's going to have a lot more mobility and flexibility in his range of motion. So I think that's going to help him. That's really the biggest thing with him. Other than that, he's good to go. Just really getting where he can have a little more range of motion in his hand. And but it's important. We're going to try to get everybody as healthy as we can down this home stretch. And the fortunate thing is we have played a lot of guys this year. We've got some guys that have got some good quality experience, and we're going to need that down the stretch.
Coach, Marcus Edmondson is questionable for the first time since hurting his foot. How has he looked in practice, and can fans expect to see him on the field?
Yeah, I mean, he was more. I don't know what he was listed last week, but he was probable to me last week, and really hoped to play him last week. But just, we didn't get the right opportunity to get him in there. But the game had gone a little different. Mike could have got him in there a little bit, but I think you'll see him in there this week, and he's done well. He's best he's been, and hopefully, he can be a big shot in the arm for us down the stretch. Obviously, he's very experienced. He's knowledgeable, and we could really use his expertise and experience in this stretch run.
He hasn't had the season that he wanted to with injuries, but what has he meant to this program with there being a
Marcus?
Yeah.
Oh, Marcus he's the epitome of our program, and just a young guy that came here and has developed. He developed into a great player. I think, and it's just a shame that he's been hurt, because I think I'm not going to be shocked at all if he doesn't make a team at the next level. I mean, he can run. He's a lot like Cody Sensabaugh, very almost identical as far as his journey, his path, with the exception of obviously Cody had a great fifth year and Marcus has been hurt. But I still think he's going to get an opportunity because he's got the measurables and the skill, and he's really, really bright young person. He's a graduate. He's got an incredibly bright future. You know what? I tell you, this is to me also the thing that's awesome about our program is every away game that I've been to this year, Syracuse, NC State, Louisville. Where else did we go? Virginia Tech. I see his mom and dad at every game, and he has not made one of those trips with us. But yet his mom and dad has still they traveled to Syracuse. They live in Columbia, so you know. I see his mom and dad with their number 29 jerseys on, standing there with all the families as the buses come in. I mean, that's awesome. In fact, when I got a chance to talk to him at Syracuse, and I told him, I said, y'all are the MVPs here. I mean, and they're like, well, we're not missing the game, I just think that's special, to see how much joy that his parents have had through their son's experience and the friendships that they've developed. And even though Marcus can't play or hasn't been able to play, they're still there. And I just think that is pretty unique, pretty special. I really do. So I remember the same thing happened. I can't remember if we went to Boston or something. Did Sean not make a trip with us there one year? He was hurt, but I remember seeing his mother and his aunt. They were up there, and I was the same thing. I'm like, y'all here? They're like, absolutely, we're here to support the team. And I just think that that's Clemson family, at its finest right there. It's really, really pretty neat, and they've always had a smile on their face. And, I just hug his mama's neck and say, hey, he's got more football in front of him. But Marcus has maintained a great attitude. He's continued to be a good leader. He's in those senior meetings. We had some fun with him last Friday because it's the first one on a Friday that he's been in a while, because he was traveling with us. And so I'm just very hopeful that he can, have a good positive experience down the stretch here. But I'm very confident that he's going to have a chance to make a team at the next level and play some more football.
Option teams are typically cut block teams. Do you try and hold big decks another week, maybe to try and get
we probably will hold decks this week. I think that we've got some depth there, and we really want to just he's a lot better, but we really want to just give him the opportunity to really get that thing 100%. He got hurt in the Georgia Tech game, and then he got hit again up at I guess it was NC State. So this past week was great for him, and I think this week as well, especially with how Albert played and Jabril should be able to really jump in there and play hard as well. And Sterling and Niles, those guys, I think they'll do a good job for us. But definitely plan on holding Dex this week.
Speaking of that, Albert Huggins' play last Saturday, what do you think about Albert and his development since he's got Clemson?
Well, it's been a slow process, and it's just really a matter of him, becoming a day in and day out guy, just being consistent. Albert's, when he first got here, it was just kind of transitioning and learning how to play, learning a new position. Really wish we could have redshirted him, to be honest with you. And then it was just more maturity. Having the mindset that it takes to show up every day and compete, and that's really is what it has taken for him, just consistency. One day he looks like the guy he can be, and the next day he looks like he hadn't played football. And so that's kind of where it's been for him. Just very inconsistent with his energy and his effort. And when you're in a very competitive situation, those are things that matter. I mean, you're not entitled. And so I think just the maturation has been the biggest thing for him. But we saw some things this past spring, him just kind of getting a little bit more serious about being a great football player and not just being a guy that's got all these gifts. He's got the tools. He's got everything he needs from a tool standpoint. But you got to have the right mindset. And it's taken a little while for him to really develop that and buy into that. And but there's no question he can do it. And I was really proud of him because it really came more from his teammates last week. His teammates really challenged him in a big way. Dexter, Christian, all those guys, they really challenged him, knowing that, hey, you're going to have to step up and play. I mean, and it matters to all of us, and I was just really pleased with him, and because just his effort, his energy, his focus, he was very focused, and that's what it takes. And so hopefully that's a big shot in the arm for him, moving forward, and confidence too. That he can do it, and when you put the work in, and when you are coachable and those type of things, it'll pay off for you. So it's not a question of ability with him. He's got all the ability in the world. So that I was very, very encouraged, and hopefully that'll be something that can really give him that wind in his sails moving forward as he goes through his career.
A couple of Christian Wilkins questions for you, Coach. How does he balance all that personality and the outgoing style with knowing when it's time to lock in and be serious?
I mean, that's just who he is, so he doesn't know anything any different. That's just what he's always done. I've been around a lot of guys that are like him, that are they've got big personalities, and they like to have fun. They're very engaging. They're very interested in a million things. Football is just a small part. I mean, that's a small part of career, and it's important, and nobody works harder. But man, he's a very diverse young person, and I always tell people he's either going to be the president of the United States or he's going to know him. One of the two. There won't be any in between when it comes to Christian. I mean, he's going to do unbelievable things in life, but he's an unbelievable competitor. He has got the eye of the tiger now, and he just when it comes time to compete, he's locked in. Whether it's watching tape, whether it's in these meetings, he's very focused. And I guess that just is something that's just how he's been his whole life. So it's just what he does, and he just has the ability to disconnect, when it's time. And I think that helps him because he is so focused when it comes to football and his work and all that type of stuff. I think that personality is a good balance for that competitiveness that he has.
When scouts come through and ask you and your staff about him, what are some of the questions they ask about him, and what are the physical attributes they're most impressed with?
Well, the tape kind of speaks for itself for those scouts. I mean, they don't really need me to tell them that hey, he's they want a more confirmation on who he is. I mean, they're going to watch the tape and make their assessments. I mean, that's obvious. I mean, not many people listen to me about Deshaun Watson either. So everybody makes their own assessments when it comes to that stuff. But the main thing is who they are. And, do you have concerns? Has he ever been in trouble? They check on their health. I mean, there's a lot of things that scouts want to know. And they want to know, what type of guy is in the locker room? What type of guy is he when nobody's watching? How does he respond to tough coaching? I mean, there's a long list of things that you get into conversations about these guys that have opportunities to play at the next level. But he's easy to talk about. I mean, he's easy. But what they love about him is his size and athleticism, his diversity. I mean, you're talking about a guy who played All-American, made All-American at the end, but he's a D tackle. So he's incredibly athletic. He's flexible. He's high energy. He's a very smart, instinctive football player.
3-4, 4-3 won't matter.
No, he can play anything you want him to play. He's still a work in progress. He's still not, strength-wise where he will continue. I mean, he's still developing his strength. He's just a natural guy. I mean, everything comes easy to him. He's fun to be around. He's a great leader. I think all of those things they love about him, and then the fact that he's been a very productive player for he's come to Clemson. He's been here 3 years. He's going on 3 ACC championship appearances. He's been in 2 national championship games. He's played against elite talent, and he's been very productive. He's a high energy guy. So I mean, there's a lot to like about Christian.
How are carries distributed in the game? Do you go and say, we want to get this guy the ball? Is it more of the game flow of the game and one guy gets hot? Is it more of just the reads on the option?
All of the above. Those are great answers. I hate to use your answers to the question, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of times you got run calls and the ball gets thrown, or the read, changes the decision. So those are things that you don't really control. And then sometimes it's the flow of the game. Sometimes it's, all right, you got this series and it was a 2-play series, or it was a 3 and out. So I mean, there's a lot of things, and sometimes you have long drives and you have opportunity to sub guys a little bit more. There's a lot of things that go into it. But we keep a touch chart, and that's something that we try to be cognizant of. I mean, we want to make sure that our playmakers are touching the ball, and something that, especially as you kind of climb that mountain, and it gets tighter and tighter. If you're going to win it, you got to get the ball to the guys that have a chance to make elite plays in elite situations.
Back to Citadel, do you have to remind your team, or do you remind them 2 years ago they went into Columbia and chewed up the clock and walk out there with a win?
Absolutely, because these guys, they don't know. They don't think. Yeah, we better remind them. Because I promise you, they're not. You don't have many people in here coming to say, "Hey, coach, did you know this happened?" No. They're just on to the next game. It's just these guys in this room. They are just next game, next opponent. It's Monday. It's what we do. It's Tuesday. It's what we do. They don't get really caught up in all that stuff. We won't prepare any different this week than we did for Florida State. We won't prepare any different this week than we will next week. 0. Everybody wants to always say, "Okay, man, are you gonna start working on that?" We work on this week, this plan. That's all you can do, because when you start getting ahead like that, you lose your guys, and you send the wrong message to them. But absolutely, I'll make real sure. In fact, it's in my notes for today. I'll make dang sure they know.
And second part, Fred's team was homeless earlier this year, and
Yeah.
they practiced here. Did you joke with him about sending somebody over to spy, or did he joke with you about it, or would you have done that for any other?
We just put the laptop out there, and that was a low blow. No, I actually never saw them. I knew that they were coming that day, and but I never saw them. I never, but I got an awesome note from their AD. I got a note from Brent and one other person. They were just all very appreciative and gracious. But I mean, I never saw them. Woody handled all that, and I mean, they were in and out, and I don't even know when they were here. We were in meetings and doing what we do. But you know, I'm really glad we were able to help them.
Do you know if Christian or any other juniors will be honored?
Yeah, Christian is going to be honored, and Hearn is going to be honored for sure. You know, and senior day is about, sometimes it's about eligibility. You know, it's your last year, and you know, you're not graduating yet, but your eligibility's up. You're a senior in eligibility. And then other times it's about school. I mean, you're graduating, and both of those guys have another year of eligibility, but neither one has made a decision yet on whether or not they're going to come back. But you know, they're both graduating in a few weeks, and you know, it's a big deal, man. It's a big deal being a senior. I mean, we really we make it a big deal around here. Always have. You know, seniors fly first class on the plane. You know, I usually fly coach. You know, because I want them seniors up there, and you know, we just make it a big deal. Even our walk-ons. I mean, we got all of them. You know, I just think there's something to be said about you know, being a senior and that finishing mentality and graduating and earning your degree, preparing yourself for the rest of your life. And so that's the two guys right now that have decided that they want to be honored, but they don't have a decision on whether or not. You know, last year was different. You know, we had 4 guys that we knew in the summer that was going to be it. That's why we put them on the senior poster, because we knew they were going to be seniors. Unless something crazy happened, they were going to graduate and go to the next level. And had no problem with that. So this group here, we got a few guys, and you know, who knows, maybe somebody makes a decision later down the road. But as far as senior day, that's the only 2 that have, at this point, come to me and said, hey, I want to be honored this Friday or this Saturday.
How well do you think Kelly has handled, you know, the adversity of not necessarily having the numbers and stat output, but knowing that he can rely on others to help him and still help you win ball games?
Well, I mean, I'd say he's handled it well. I mean, he's 9-1, and he's a first-year starter and led his team to a division championship. We're not division champions without his performance. You know, and it's just crazy. You know, it's like, if we throw the ball for 600 yards, then everybody's like, where's the running game? The running game stinks. And if you rush the ball for 250 yards against Florida State, it's like, oh, what's wrong with the passing game? You know, and that just kind of comes with the territory. The main here, you know what the number 1 stat is? Winning. That's the one that matters. Winning. And he's a winner. So he's led his team as a first-year starter. We hadn't had many first-year starters around here win a division. Deshaun Watson didn't win a division as a first-year starter. Taj Boyd and Kyle Parker. You know, Kyle won it as a freshman, and then Taj. So it's hard to do, man. And neither one of those guys won like Kelly has won. Kelly's 9-1, and you know, he's done a great job for us, and you know, I wish that we had a few more plays in the books that we had finished that have been there. He's been a very consistent thrower. I mean, he was back to 60-something percent, 67% last week. He's had one game, I think he was in the 50s. So he's been a very consistent guy. We've just got to finish plays. I mean, whether it's the quarterback, I mean, he's missed some throws. He missed some throws in the NC State game for sure that really could have probably put that game away. I mean, like, just had a bad day. And then he came back last week, and we missed a couple, but we dropped a touchdown. We've just got to finish some plays that are there. And we will. You know, it's kind of like going 0 for 3. And you step back in there. You just keep stepping back in there, and you hit a home run. You're 1 for 4. Hey, you just keep rolling. And next thing you know, you get out of a little slump, and That's kind of where we are right now in the passing game, because it's not that we don't have things there. We're just a little inconsistent. And it's not, it's easy to go, well, it's just Kelly. No, it's been, we got Kelly trying to throw a touchdown to a young receiver in the game, and he's blocking. He busts. He misses the signal. Well, it looks like Kelly's just throwing a ball. No, that's 100% on the wideout. We've had a couple of drop touchdowns, and then we've missed a few throws, and then we've had a few things that were there for the taking, but maybe we had a protection issue. So it's a combination of things, but we'll find our groove. We'll get going. And good news is he can do it and has done it. Got video evidence of it. So we don't beat Auburn, we don't beat Louisville, we don't beat Virginia Tech, we don't beat Boston College, we don't beat none of them teams without being able to have good balance in what we do. But at the end of the day, we're exactly what I thought we would be coming into the season. I thought we'd be a team that would be much, much better running the football, and that's what we are.
Coach, I saw Dan Brooks down on the field on